Okay, good Friday morning radar update. So, nice finish in the US yesterday. What we look for is that lockout action. The market can sort of open strong, drift through the lunch session, close strong again. So, are we looking at a new melt higher? Yeah, there's going to be a lot of people drawing this channel here on the Nasdaq 100. Let's go and look at the Nasdaq Composite textbook base breakout. Absolutely fantastic. Famous last words. And this one is following up. We've got a breakout on the S&P. 52-week highs is pretty close above as well. What did it trade last? Well, it traded 52-week lows last, but once the 52-week high coming down to price means that we're taking out a meaningful level rather than a mid-term kind of level there. So let's move on from that. We'll just have a look at the 250. We're drifting out of this channel a bit, but a little bit soggy action in the small caps, right side of a potentially big loose base. So let's just move straight from that. We're going to hit the volume leaders today. In fact, I'll hit the opening ranges and we'll just go, well, we've got the 100 and the DAX through the opening range highs. We opened a little bit frothy on the 250. We've just drifted back in and closed that gap, and the small caps are still trading an inside day at this moment in time. We've just broke above the previous day's high and back above the previous day's highs on the 250. Easy for me to say. So just going to buzz through the volume leaders. This volume leaders screen is so simple that it will catch all good action in stocks what are rising over my minimum time frame. So anything what's had basically just getting some action today, breaking out meaningful area, or it's had a news report, they will all hit this. If there's a good news report out there, it will be in this screen. As always, news days are noise days. It's rare that I enter a stock on the back of news. I buy my sort of breakouts or pullbacks, and there will be lots of news days on the journey. In fact, back testing, it's actually buying on news days, even in stocks what would have been profitable, in my world doesn't, it's actually negative compared to just buying a good reward to risk scenario. So rinse and repeat. And I'll just I'll just throw out a stock what went through a report yesterday, KINO, and the fundamental case is kind of being spun yesterday, but the fundamental case was in the numbers. Nothing really changed. There's a slight beat on one, but as I've said before, in line can be fantastic if it's in line with fantastic numbers, and that's why we got the reaction on that. I'm already riding that stock, just to put it out there. But yeah, fundamentals are not found on the RNS day. They're in the numbers. There might be upgrades or downgrades, but pretty much they're in the numbers, aren't they? In my world, they are anyway. So let's just buzz through these volume leaders today. I'll just go in order of sector. And yeah, we got a gap up on Aston Martin yesterday. This one's loaded with debt, isn't it? Without looking, I haven't looked, but no, it's got to be a lose less and a story in turnover in that one. I would have said, but I haven't read it. RFX, we talked about this one last night. We've seen Reverse vol base, quite a big move to break out. This area here was a good zone, and we've also had a good zone here today. So getting a little bit of a move up there. It might turn into another base, or it might just break out and go higher. Time will tell. Moving on. YouGov, that, it just exploded, didn't it? It had some really good forward numbers on this one, and now I've got kind of it's probably decelerating now across the board from what it was. Looking at those numbers now, I haven't got any pre-tax. I've just got a 0 on the pre-tax here for some reason, so I don't know on the forward pre-tax. But 155 to 278 up to 338. Yes, that explosive move was in that acceleration, wasn't it? And this will be the prelims, so now we've moved on to some deceleration. Moving on. Growth trends. Let's through these, see what we see. Just a real sloth-like stock. Always has been, always will be. It is what it is. We noted this base here just because I was asked about it, but it's not stock I would ever take myself, being such a sloth-like product. I'm looking for stocks what could re-rate and trend. And out of a basket of stocks I actually take, hopefully a few of those will turn into outliers. And it only takes one outlier to have a good year in the markets. Sizzle, yeah, bit of a POS, it is what it is, but it was a nice base, wasn't it? Take the log scale off there, you can see some pretty good multiples. Yeah, just back and fill and drift, and it might go on another leg, it might run out of steam. Who knows? This is on a postcard. I've got 39 in the volume leaders today. A BBSN, just the bottom of that range at the moment, isn't it? This one here, it's a little bit of a disappointer, this stock is. Pre-tax went from 33 to 11.7, and it's expected to tick back up to 8, so it's like a lower high in the pre-tax, isn't it? 18.4. Turnover dipped to 206 from 228, and it's actually dipping again, so it's never going to fit an aggressive growth screen, is it? Earnings per share year on year, 18.6 down to 9.7, and the forecast is 9.2. So it's not exactly going to, is this the prelims? Yeah. So yeah, you've got a year of that ahead of you, and yeah, if the market gets good, rising tide can lift all boats, but I'm looking for ones what can lift on their own steam. So not much gas in the tank on that one for my style. In fact, I don't know if it's ever had a good run. Oh, it has, hasn't it? Yeah. I thought it. Yeah. It's kind of a. I seem to remember there being a bit of a base on this at some point, and we looked at it, but it's never been a very orderly stock, has it? Anyway, moving on. I will leave it there, and few jobs going on in the background, huge amount of work being done in the website. If anyone's interested in visiting trading bases, it's a very good time to see a few trends sort of moving in action. And I screen the market. I pen in an hour every night of the week. I'll get through them a bit quicker than that if it's quiet. But yeah, and if you like the video, share it, like it. It's all good. I'm trying to do more on YouTube. Cheers all.